All right, guys, and we are back with the buzz about East Brunswick. Greg T here, Mayor Cohen here, and now, ladies and gentlemen, we bring in a guest, a local resident here in East Brunswick, a master of Legos. He is known to most by his name, AC Pin. Ladies and gentlemen, he is Amado Pinlac. Right? I get it right, Pinlac?
Welcome.
Yes. I got it right.
Thank you.
You only get one chance to make a first impression. I get nervous. I often get a little flustered there.
It's okay.
So welcome aboard. Welcome to the Buzz About East Brunswick
you.
podcast.
Yeah.
So it's pretty neat. So we met you a couple of weeks ago when we were just strolling through the library here. Your exhibit is on display.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about what you do and how you became the master of Legos.
Well, this is a journey like no other because when people see me during the convention circuit that we're doing right now, it's a nationwide brick convention. Is a private corporation that does Lego shows all over the U.S. So in the past 3 years, we've already done 40 shows.
40 shows.
Wow.
That's quite a
Didn't
lot.
know there were that many.
That's what I'm saying. I had no idea either. I had no idea. I mean, to me, and I think to the mayor, we shop, we see them in stores. Oh, there's a box of Legos, but we don't really know how far it really goes. I've seen on television there was a, I don't know, master Lego builder on television. But again, I just thought it was just a television show just for the nation to watch and have some fun with it. I didn't, realize how intricate it gets and how professional it is.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I started just like any other hobbyist as a collector first. So I actually found this particular toy like no other that our three sons gravitated to it. So it was their favorite toy.
Right.
And I actually learned how to build with them.
Through your sons.
Yes.
Very nice. That's really nice. So now what can you tell me? I mean, how does someone become a master builder of Legos? Like, how does Legos even find out about you? How does this happen?
Well, that's why when kids see me during the convention circuit, they tell me, it's a dream job, like no other.
Sure.
But then I kind of tell them, this was not my dream because I'm just a hobbyist. But things, started, opportunities opened up. And, little did I know that my initial works, which were all Star Wars, kind of put my name on the map. I'll give you a quick example. This particular build is the Theed hangar. So I built it back in 2012. During that time span, nobody else in the whole world was building this big and this detailed.
So you can't buy that in a store?
No.
You designed this yourself?
Yes.
But I know they do have Star Wars ones that you could build that are already have all the packaged inserts that you need to build that particular project. But this you might have done on your own thinking how to do that.
Well, everything that I've done are all my own design and my own concepts.
That's great.
So that's the thing. The only thing that I didn't really build from scratch are the minifigures because those come with the sets.
Got you. So now do you? So I think to what Mayor Cohen is saying. So do you purchase many different Lego Star Wars sets and then put something like this together, or do you contact Lego about some of the pieces you need,
or do you just do it from the base pieces?
Right. How does it all happen?
Ever heard of the term kit bashing?
No.
So in the other hobbies, you take parts from different sets and then create your own.
Okay.
So that's essentially what I was doing with Lego.
Gotcha.
So I took parts from different sets. They may or may not be Star Wars.
Got you.
Because there are different parts. And that's the beauty of this particular hobby. Because you can use the same bricks, but then repurpose them to something else that they were not meant to be.
What's your background before any of this? You're an engineer or anything? Or?
I'm actually an electrical engineer in the Philippines, a licensed electrical engineer in the Philippines. However, I didn't practice that because I jumped into IT. So my whole work career has been in IT.
Okay.
So now where do you travel? I read a little bit about you that you've won awards. the Lego house in Denmark. You're one of 34 builders selected globally, and you're creating more and more creations, sharing them all over the world now. You're traveling, showing these Legos?
Yeah. So back in 2017, this is the picture in the Lego house. So I was invited by Lego Corp to actually go to Denmark, bring my work there, and have them on display for a year. Now, the thing is, when they invited me, the invite actually went to my spam folder.
Oh, man, how
So
funny.
it almost never happened. However, during that time period in May of 2017, for some reason, I look at this spam folder. You know, when the mail count goes to over 20,
Yeah.
I trash it.
Right,
I never
right.
look at it.
Right.
So the thing is, during that week that I looked at it, there are probably 10 or 12. So I opened the spam folder, and one of the subject matter was Lego house. Now, me being a Lego hobbyist
Right.
during that time period, I already knew that the Lego house was opening in September. And I already put it on my bucket
So
list.
you knew it was a big deal.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is a big
Right,
deal.
right, right.
If you are truly a Lego hobbyist,
Right.
you know this.
Gotcha.
So I already knew it. Little did I realize that I was going to be invited and have my work displayed there. Now, how cool is that?
That's great. You're lucky that you actually found it in your spam box. You said you have 20.
Right.
I probably have like 20,000
was thinking,
because I never go into the,
I never go in. Right. I never do it either.
But here's the kicker. They invited me. Now, throughout, that time span before 2017, I was known in the hobby as AC Pin in terms of Lego Star Wars. But get this, they didn't want my Star Wars stuff.
What did they want?
Well, they gave me a subject matter, which is nature. And then I learned by, responding to the email that what they wanted to see are your own designs, your own creations. Of course, Star Wars is an intellectual property.
Right.
So that's not
Yeah.
original.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I can tell you this, the first week after I received that email, oh, and by the way, it has confidentiality agreement. So I couldn't even tell anybody,
My God.
in
Is
the
that where
hobby.
you
Sounds like
found-
he's got to have to fly with his lawyer.
Seriously, I had no idea. I mean, I had no idea that a hobby such like this, like
Yes.
Legos, that every little kid plays, becomes so serious.
Do
and
your
so
kids still
professional.
play with it anymore? Or
Not
they're
anymore. No. I mean, once they saw me, start building and that stuff. Plus, they went to high school. Well, they all grew up here, right? So once they went to high school, high school is a busy time. So, they had other interests.
Right, right.
So they never got back. Every now and then they'll ask, well, since I have connections with the Lego stores,
Yeah.
they go like, hey, Dad, can you get this for me? Because they know I can get discounts.
That's
But
funny.
that's the most that they have been, into Lego. Once Voltron came out, my second son said, I want that set. And he goes like, well, let me see, But I do have connections every now and then, but I don't want to abuse that. So
Well, I don't want to gloss over it, but how do you connect? Take me back to how you connected with Lego and how Lego decided to sit down with you and contract you and all of that.
Well, here's the thing. I have had a long-standing relationship with Lego, but more on anonymous terms. So,
Expand on that. What do you mean?
meaning I wasn't using AC Pin
Okay.
as, a brand name.
Right.
I've done like
You were just a
reviews.
regular Lego hobbyist.
I'm just a regular hobbyist, but they knew me about my Star Wars works. So much so that the other...
and how do they know about you? Are you writing letters to them? Are you taking
No.
pictures and showing them? Are you going to shows?
Well, here's the thing. When this came out, Lego got interested with it because they asked my permission to put it in the Lego Star Wars visual
But how
dictionary.
did they see it? How did you
Well,
show Lego that?
No, social media.
Oh.
So it
So
goes
now
all
this is
over.
going to be one of they're going to sell this?
No, they won't sell it. It's actually in the book.
Oh. Okay.
So they asked my permission. So the book was published in 2014.
So you're a regular person, and
Yeah.
you're making these designs.
Yes.
You posted it on social media.
Yeah.
Somebody from Legos happens to see it.
Exactly.
And then they contacted you, direct message, and then that's how you built up this relationship with Legos.
Yes.
Interesting. Very interesting.
See, and they're actually now using him to expand their brand.
Yeah.
I think they should pay you.
Wow. No, well,
That's confidential.
because I just wanted to ask that. Are
I
you
signed a
contract-
non-disclosure agreement on all of the
Can't
stuff.
talk about that.
But here's the thing. Here's the funny thing is there was a point in time that my wife Marlet, was like, I was getting every month Lego sets.
Oh my gosh.
At home, boxes and boxes. And then she tells me, how much did you spend on this? And then I go like, look, honey, at the invoice, it says 0.
Right.
It's a gift.
So what do you have at home? So at home, do you have a huge room all dedicated to your Legos?
Basement.
The whole basement.
Garage.
That's great.
I can only imagine. Oh my
He's got
Lord.
like a mini museum in his
Yeah,
house.
right. Like some people might have a wood shop, He's got a Lego shop in his own house.
Yeah.
So how long
He's going
is
to be the
something like
most
this-
popular grandfather in
Oh
town
my,
someday.
absolutely. What kid wouldn't love this?
I'm the popular uncle.
Dad, uncle, everything.
Everything.
So how long does something like this take to put together from start to finish?
So this particular build, well, any of the big builds, if I decide to come up with them, will take several months.
Months, okay.
So what I do is essentially get a lot of screenshots because the jump into Star Wars, I'm a Star Wars fan first before I became a Lego fan. So I know being a Star Wars fan, it's all about the details.
I was going to say, you better get the details right,
Yes,
because
exactly.
someone will absolutely
yeah.
correct you.
Oh yeah, they'll call out,
They will.
and that stuff. And so far, in my whole career with Lego and that stuff, nobody
That's
great.
great.
has called out telling me that this particular character is not supposed to be there,
Right.
and so on and
Right.
so forth.
So do you get to visit some of these exclusive movie sets and things like that in order to get your exact pictures?
No, it's just from the actual movies.
Just from the movies?
Yeah, just
Okay.
from the movies. So this is actually my latest one. It's based from the book of Boba Fett.
Boba Fett, right.
So
right.
it's a couple of years now. So this is my latest, but it's in bigger scale because if you take a look at the details, there are over 200
that.
minifigs.
Have you ever gone through half of it and all of a sudden your elbow hits something and it breaks and you're back to doing it
It
again?
does happen.
And you're like, oh, damn it, I got to rebuild the whole Millennium Falcon
It
again.
does happen. So every time
That's
that
Lego too?
no, the background is actually the Bryce Canyon.
Oh, wow, that's very
So
cool.
when I-
Is
when
that
I
where it
act-
was filmed?
No, it's not. But based from the movie, let me put it this way. When I initially built these things, I put them out on social media, but I do a green screen effect.
Gotcha.
So I do the background and then superimpose the whole thing.
Wow.
However, bringing it out to the convention circuit, that doesn't work.
Gotcha.
So what I did, and this is the first, nobody else has done it in the convention circuit, me using backgrounds.
Very neat.
Because
really
then
interesting.
if you look at it, even
Yeah,
from here,
it
from
looks-
the picture,
Yes.
the depth of perception,
Right.
Yeah.
gives
How do you
it
get
an
something
added-
like that out to the convention?
Good point. Good question.
Okay. So once I started, I've been on the
Like, is there a
convention.
Lego glue?
No. No,
There's no
I never glue.
Okay.
Part of the reason being is if it breaks during transport, what's going to happen is I can't fix it anymore. And I have to bring supplies of extra, stuff.
Gotcha.
Right.
So going back to transporting this particular
Right.
build, this will break into base plates. So 2 base plates at a time. So here,
Oh,
you'll-
the base plate.
yeah,
Oh, I
you
can
see the connection?
Yeah, the connection.
See the connection there?
Gotcha.
So this,
So you're building on each base plate. You're not crossing over
Exactly.
base plates.
Yeah.
And that's how you're transporting it.
well, some of them are actually built across 2 base
Yeah, you
plates,
can see that there.
right? This one is, a singular,
And then do they go into boxes? But again, you have
Yes.
to so how does it transport?
So I buy those. So once I signed up with Brick Convention, we're now on our 3rd year. We started in 2023. Once I signed up exclusively with them, part of the deal was the transport. So my wife and I will fly from location to location, but the company itself has their own truck, so to speak, that will bring this into one location to the other.
So Lego gets involved themselves.
Not Lego Corporation, Brick Convention,
I
which is
see.
a private corporation.
Gotcha. Okay. Who
So-
specializes in transporting designs, Lego designs?
Yeah, the founder of Brick Convention is, and the organizer has been in this business with the family before that. But he kind of, parted ways with the family, and that's another story.
Sure.
But he created his own, company. So we have traveled and we've done, like I mentioned, initially, we were done more than 40 shows.
Gotcha.
More than 20 states from east
That's
to west.
great.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So, and we're still traveling. By the way, 2 weeks ago, we were actually in Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Wyoming.
Wow. So now I see that you do a lot of Star Wars. Do you do
Yes.
anything else other than Star Wars?
Sure. Well, let's go back to
Oh, the Star Wars stuff is pretty cool.
botanicals.
Oh, that's
So,
Exotic flowers.
yes, doing a segue back to the Lego house, they didn't like my Star Wars. So I came up with botanicals.
But it's not that they didn't like it. I guess it was because of a licensing
Yes.
agreement. Right. So because of the licensing, they asked you now to start to do other things.
Yes.
And that's when you came up with the botanical garden.
Exactly.
Right. So this is all Lego as well.
Yes.
Look at that.
Well, this is Marlette's lily pond.
Oh, okay.
So, and as you can see, all the details, it even has dragonflies.
Amazing, the
Right?
detail.
There's a frog there, okay? And the hardest piece on this one that I had to figure out are the actual lily pods because they're circular.
Right.
So, but it's hard to actually do that.
So
with
where do you
Lego.
get those pieces?
Well, these are normal Lego
So
pieces.
somebody
from
might
different
have.
sets.
So somebody would have these pieces already.
Yeah,
so
in different
pieces-
sets.
The pieces
Right.
are out there. He
Right,
figured
right,
out how to
right.
make it
Yeah.
circular.
Right.
So all of see those are curves and the cattails. So
Wow, the detail's
look
amazing.
at the detail on this one. I use the barrels
Oh man, right.
because there are rounded pieces, but they don't give the detail. So the barrels have these ridges.
Yeah, that's
so,
great.
But if you look at it,
He has to know so many different pieces of so many different boxes. I mean, it's fascinating to know how intricate it gets and what you have to know about
Exactly.
in order to be able to make something like this.
so that's why now I brought the very first botanicals to the Lego house.
Gotcha.
And guess what? Pre-pandemic, out of the 34, I was the only one who actually came back for a second year and a third year.
Got ya. Wow.
The only thing that stopped us was
Nothing's
the
stopping you.
pandemic.
Oh,
Because then they had to everything was shut,
Sure. Shut down.
down.
Right, of course, of course.
So that was the thing. But year after year, 17, 18, 19, my wife and I had our yearly trek to the Lego house,
Amazing.
swapping, stuff from one to the other.
That's cool.
amazing. So now, what are you building right now? Are you building anything for East Brunswick? Maybe you can build. What?
They're actually out there.
Right.
So part of being ACPN is I've been known as an OG in the Lego hobby.
You are the OG. Yeah, you are.
When I started.
Does
Right.
this stuff tolerate the weather? Like you could leave it outside or not really?
Not really. So if you've been to Legolands and those other places where they have the sculptures, which by the way are actually glued.
Those are glued.
Those are glued. Plus they put some sort of coating
Right.
to preserve the colors and that stuff.
Because a lot of that stuff's all outside at Legoland.
Yeah, it's all outside.
Have you ever done anything that was meant for permanent installation outdoors?
No, but I've been requested. I do commission work. In different. Whether it's Star Wars, whether it's botanicals, I do commission work. But the problem is logistics, because when they ask to do this, 9 out of 10 of those who ask for commission work will actually back out once they learn, the price point.
Oh, you're right. Exactly.
So that's always going to be the
separating
problem.
somebody from their wallet. I've learned is a problem.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Everybody loves it until you tell them how much it is. Then they don't love it as much. I get what you're
It's an
saying.
old partner that used to say to me, everybody could agree
Right.
until we divide the dollar bill.
That's right. Oh man.
Exactly. But this is my official title, so to speak.
AC
And
pin.
That's very cool.
Master Lego artist.
No, I'm thinking that we have that big circle in front of the ice rink.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
the turnaround,
Yes.
and it's an ice rink, right?
Yes.
I'd love to have a massive Lego ice player. Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be really cool.
That was the ones who actually do those are what they call Lego certified professionals, and I do have quite a few friends who do that.
I have
but you don't do
I'm
that.
just saying that. I have zero idea how much that would
Right.
cost, but I
Well,
think it would be very cool.
And getting back to the point with
here's
the price point.
I can tell you the price point on that one.
Yeah, well, should I still sit?
a full size, hockey player with all the works, it's gonna run you in 5 figures.
Oh, okay, that's actually better than I thought.
Wow, it
About
gets up there.
50,000.
$50,000. That's
Because the thing is,
It's complicated.
it is
Yeah.
complicated,
Time-consuming.
and part of those large sculptures are actually they have an endoskeleton metal frame, because Lego by itself will not be able to support the whole
makes sense.
frame.
Sure.
That makes
So-
sense. So you build
imagine,
around it.
imagine the engineering that has
Yeah.
to go behind it, with the foot, everything, with the whole body.
Right.
So there's going to be an interior frame, and then glue will come into play, to have that.
Right, and some sort of covering or surface so it can
Yeah.
stand the elements, which it.
I can make you a hockey puck.
So we get an East Brunswick hockey puck. All right, that we can get. All right, we'll count on that.
Then you wait for one of these kids to hit it with the stick.
Oh,
that break up into
Oh,
pieces,
no.
right?
Oh my God. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you can find him. He is he's a master of Legos. AC Pin, that is AC Pin, PIN. Follow him on Instagram and also on Facebook at AC Pin. I got to tell you, this is very fascinating.
And by the way,
Yeah.
if I may say so, we do have a meet and greet this Friday.
Tell me all about it.
At 4:00.
Whereabouts?
So
Here
here
at the library.
in one of the meeting rooms.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do is essentially go over, my journey through being a local hobbyist.
Yeah.
And then now, present day, I'm the master Lego artist on the Brick Convention Tour.
You are.
That's
So-
great. Now you got a job. We got to
That's
promote
right.
that.
I mean, this is really something. Seriously,
We got to let people know that.
Right. So it's this Friday.
Yes.
Here
this
at the
Friday.
public library.
Yes, at 4:00.
At 4:00, come by and meet AC Pin, a local guy from East Brunswick.
Yeah.
This is pretty neat.
Yeah, and before I forget,
Yeah.
that's why I'm always grounded to my roots. This place actually gave me my first break in doing a display.
Oh,
the
really?
library.
Believe it or not, yeah,
That's great.
yeah. Because way before, the way I started doing displays
Yeah.
here is during summertime. I was returning the summer reading books for my 3 sons.
Right.
And I saw those large display cases by the passport section.
Yes.
They were all empty.
Oh, wow.
And I go like, what do you do? I know my kids' artworks were displayed there before during the school year, but during the summer, nothing. So I asked one of the custodians, Melissa, in fact, I asked, who's in charge of these display cases? And Melissa showed up. And then I asked, so what do you do during the summer? And then she mentioned about the magic word. Oh, we allow residents to display their collections, their arts, whatever.
The magic words.
The magic word
That's worked.
resident. Hey,
Resident.
I'm a resident.
That's it. That's it.
Great.
And then I showed her my flip phone,
Which was
many,
what we
many
used
years
then.
ago.
Yeah.
That was high tech then, right?
Exactly. The little picture. And she goes like, is that Lego? And I said, yeah, and these are my creations. The next thing she asks is, When can you bring them?
That's great.
And the rest is history.
That's great.
Terrific. It really is. Well, we thank you very much. And now we're having you here on the podcast. It was really nice to meet you. It's been great. And, the mayor's initiative really was to, meet some real, I guess, residential celebrities here from town. And you definitely qualify as one for sure.
Thank you.
So thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, AC Pin. All right, now let's take a stop down and let's take a look inside and around East Brunswick. We'll be right back with more. Hey, East Brunswick, there certainly is a lot going on this summer.